my son, and there was just me and my son there, and obviously I was drinking like you do in hot weather. Well, there's any reason to drink is there, isn't it? And I just remember thinking, I'd been going over this turmoil, the decision fatigue every single day. I don't want to drink today, I don't want to drink today, and getting to 5 o'clock and like, you know, I ended up drinking. Anyway, I just thought when I get back, so that was August 2019, I've got to change some things, and I did. I started the 1 year no beer program, and I did it for about 18 months, but I had 3 drinking sort of episodes, if you like, not heavily, but 3 drinking episodes within that 18 months. But I did feel like I'd shifted, my mind state had shifted, and I didn't want alcohol. There was no desire there. And then when lockdown ended, I started going out a lot again, and the hot weather and all of that. And you know, the odd drink turned into I'll just get one because it's sunny and I'm going to sit in the garden. And it got, you know, it picked back up again within sort of 6 months. Then I stopped again for 6 months. And I was doing my degree at the time, finishing my degree, and I thought if I don't stop drinking, I'm not going to be able to do this, because my head was just all over the place again. And then when I finished my degree last year, I started drinking again, because it was like, I finished my degree, you know, blah, blah.
Celebration.
You know.
Totally with you.
But by the May, so it'll be a year on the 30th of May, by May last year, my mental state was bad again with it, do you know what I mean? I was
crept back in,
the anxiety, the guilt, the crippling anxiety in the morning of what I've said and what I've done, and I've not done anything that out there because I don't go out drinking. I didn't go out drinking. It was at home but it was like, what am I doing? That mental chatter. It was just, I just thought, no, I want a different life, and yeah, I stopped drinking on the 30th of May, so this will be the longest that I've done. But I've always been previously like, oh, if I can do a year, then it's okay, it's this, that and the other. But actually, I don't want to drink again. I don't know what will happen in the future, but I don't want to drink again.
Good for you. Absolutely good for you. I always say, I'm kind of a similar thing to you. I always kind of knew maybe I was drinking. I wasn't.
They are nearly all of them. Either they don't have any sort of problem. They can literally take it or leave it, and occasionally have a couple when they go out, and that's it. Or they're at the stage where they're thinking, I'm doing too much. I'm doing too much. It might not be every night. I wasn't every night all the time. Do you know what I mean? But it's that stage that gets to you when you wake up in the morning and you think, right, I'm not going to have a drink, and then the decision fatigue starts and the mental chat starts, and by 5 o'clock you're like, right, yeah, it's just exhausting. I don't have to think about that anymore. I'm not saying I don't think, you know, occasionally romanticise and think, oh, big party house, our house. And he said, oh, turn this shit off, I can swear. He said, turn this rubbish off. You can edit that, can't you? It's alright, I'll stop and I'll just repeat. You can cancel it and then.
Yeah. It's alright.
Oh, do you have to know when? Right.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
It's alright, don't worry. Right. So.
Bad cave. Right. So so my brother comes home, and I think they're all coming to ours to get ready. It was a big party house. Coming to ours to get ready before they go out, and he says to me, I'm listening to Madonna and, you know, dancing around the room. He says, turn this rubbish off. And I was like, no. And I mean, I was dead, you know, proper wild child. And I was like, no, I'm not turning it off. And he was like, Kate, nobody wants to listen to this rubbish. We're going out to a rave. We want to listen to house music. And I was like, I went off crying. Yeah, stormed off, went off crying. This is all on cassette tapes. I was like, slam my tape off. Went off crying, and I just like, you know, stormed off upstairs, and then about like 5 minutes later, I hear this insane music that I've just never heard before, and there was 2 tracks that absolutely I'll never forget. And I remember they put this on, For What You Dream, John Digweed, and they put K-Class, Let Me Show You Love on, right? So everybody's like, you know, they're all getting into the spirit of things, and absolutely, you know, dancing round, and I just remember thinking, oh my god, what is this? I love this. This is my sort of vibe. This is where I, you know, this this is where I want to be going. And yeah, that was it. I was switched on to house music from a really young age, because DJs like Sasha and Digweed were huge in my family, but the people that I hung around with, older siblings, who were going to those sorts of parties, and I just knew I loved it. And I've never
time to be alive. But I think if you played this track out anywhere,
yeah,
you couldn't not have like a really good night.
I always try and put in my sets, even if I'm playing newer stuff, because I play a lot of new stuff. I rarely play old stuff nowadays. So,
really?
Yeah. I mean, if somebody requests it, or I'm doing a private party, then I'll play whatever they want. And a lot of people who are having 40ths and 50ths this year do want a lot of that old stuff playing, and I love playing it, but I'm massively into buying house music. I went to Berlin last year to buy vinyl, and I'm going to Paris soon, and hopefully to Barcelona, and
Oh my goodness.
yeah, I mean, it's on the treadmill, it's the hamster wheel, it's a constant psychological battle with yourself. Now I know what I found this time is, this is what I say to people when they say to me, how is it, how was it, how do you find it, how do you feel? And I've always said that when you stop drinking, life becomes so much more manageable, and I think it does in so many ways. It doesn't in any way cure everything. You're forced to face a lot of raw and abrasive admissions to yourself, and that's what's happened to me this time. But I'm also seeing the kind of profound results around me of me stopping drinking, but also my parenting skills are much better, and I'm much more measured, and I'm trying to do what everybody else is trying to do, and make a life where I don't feel guilty, and I make some better choices, and that has had a ripple effect. But that, when you make changes, the people around you make changes, and it can be life changing.